everyone, and welcome to AfrEITOP weekly English television program. I'm Danait, your host, and today we're going to be talking about the modern aspects of coffee here in the beautiful shop of Zing Coffee Shop. Let's grab some coffee has become a staple sentence to ask someone out, to invite a potential business partner to a meeting, and to invite an old friend to catch up. It's so much more than just another habit of ours, as it serves as a ritual we start our days with, bond with those around us, and simply enjoy the present moment. And aside from the traditional culture of coffee making here and in our continent, there's such a variety of servings to choose from around the world as well. We'll be back to see from the making of the roasting to the delicious coffee drinking. Stay tuned. As a pivotal segment of our modern life, enjoying your favorite cup of coffee and latte is deeply embedded into the fabric of our society. No matter where you come from, whether you like it with milk, pure black, extra sugar, or even cold, coffee has developed into a part of every society's identity. So many people, including myself, have started turning to this delicious beverage to lift their spirits, boost their mood, and give them an energy spur first thing in the morning. Here with me is the amazing team of Zing Coffee Shop, and they're going to show me the numerous ways of how to make coffee. There's cold coffee, there's filter coffee, and also I'll come and talk with the barista. Join us.
Coffee drinks have numerous ways of being served from different cultures around the globe, but it all starts with roasting and grinding of the coffee beans. Coffee roaster is a special equipment to dry and roast coffee beans. The machine adopts intelligent electronic digital temperature control device to control the temperature automatically, and so the roasted coffee can be evenly heated. According to the different ways of heating, the machines are divided into two categories: electric heating and gas heating. It has adopted the DDK speed regulation motor to keep the unique taste when baking. Advanced bilingual PLC control panel and large window operation is generous, beautiful, and has easy use. After the coffee beans are roasted, the different types of coffee can then be made. Espresso is a coffee-making method of Italian origin, in which a small amount of nearly boiling water is forced under pressure through finely ground coffee beans. Espresso coffee can be made with a wide variety of coffee beans and roasts. However, when you get down to numbers, the amount of caffeine is greater in a drip cup of espresso shot, which has about 80 milligrams of caffeine. But when seeking a bit milder coffee, the cappuccino and latte are tasty choices. Each is Italian in origin and made with espresso and milk. But the differences are created through one important function, the barista craft. With the layers more distinct, the coffee flavor is strong, but barista craft the latte in a very different way. The layers of espresso and steamed milk are mixed together and topped with a light layer of foam. It's then that the drink is creamier and the coffee flavor is more subtle. Coffee brewers are easy. About 90% of the Finnish people start their day with filter coffee, brewed by a traditional coffee brewer. Basically, everyone knows how to use them. Measure your beans and water, and you're good to go. Remember to use fresh water and a separate pitcher to add the water to the brewer, with a different pitcher than the glass pot from the brewer. But there are rules to making this right. You have to use freshly roasted coffee. Choose the right grind size, use filter water, and rinse your filter paper before you begin. The French press works by steeping coffee grounds and water in a beaker. Once the coffee is done steeping, a metal mesh filter is pressed to the bottom of the beaker, which separates the coffee grounds from the liquid coffee destined for your mug. The metal mesh filter allows the natural oils found in coffee and fine particles to pass through it, giving the coffee a thick body. Then comes another kind, iced coffee. Iced coffee, quite unique one from the other types of the other coffees, is a type of coffee beverage served chilled, brewed variously with fundamental divisions being cold brew, brewing the coffee cold, yielding a different flavor and not requiring cooling, or brewing normally and then cooling, generally by simply pouring over ice or into ice cold milk. And this drink is famous in most parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to AfrEITOP's updates for this week. I'm Hanan Ibrahim with the latest updates. Tiaston and Malka Country has been one of the archaeological sites of our countries for tourism heritage, which was visited by the Federal Democratic Republic of the Tourism and Heritage, including the executives and the contact centers who have overseen a range of artifacts, research sites and work projects, including senior officials from South and Oromia region. The officials team was led by Her Excellency Dr. Hirut Kassaw. Tiaston is one of Ethiopian tourism heritage registered by the United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, and according to Her Excellency Dr. Hirut Kassaw's speech, she has confirmed that the previously started conservation work of the heritage, which has been temporarily terminated due to the COVID-19 pandemic, will be continued and all necessary logistics will be sent to the right place very soon in order to continue the conservation work to make the place convenient for both local and foreign tourists. Besides to the visiting project, indigenous plant species were planted in the vicinity of the two destinations in order to implement a campaign which started in the country level planned to plant 5 billion plants. Rural Ethiopia has allowed tourists into the daily lives of Ethiopians in the country. Community members used to benefit from selling experience, farming practices, cooking, crafting together, and storytelling, as well as the village tour. In such tough times, community trust in tourism business is critical. We need to let them continue conserving nature and have pride to send kids to school. Tourism Ethiopia management ensure ongoing cooperation and discussion with them, and moreover have started providing sanitizers. Happy to see the community already support our post-COVID-19 pandemic plan for getting people in the community back to work in tourism because of tourism safeguards and people and nature. And in the African tourism news for this week, Uganda's Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, in collaboration with the post-COVID-19 recovery team, has launched on June 5 the standard operating procedures to guide the hospitality industry in preparation for the reopening of normal business operations henceforth. The launch, held at the Sheraton Hotel, Uganda, Kampala, was chaired by State Minister for Tourism, Honorary Godfrey Kiwanda. The standard operating procedures contained in a 23 pages document shall guide sector operators aimed to ensure compliance to health, hygiene, safety and sanitation guidelines, and to prevent the spread of COVID-19, protecting the employees, guests and suppliers, including but not limited to tourist accommodation establishments susceptible of contagion, social distancing measures, hand cleaning and respiratory hygiene, together with frequent hand hygiene and respiratory etiquette, usage and maintenance of hygiene in elevators and escalators, appointment of response teams and contacts, biohazard disposable waste management and food handling, housekeeping, personal protection equipment, kitchen management, waste management and emergency evacuations, and more. Together with Ministry of Tourism, private sector and local government, Uganda's Tourism Board will coordinate this implementation. And in the international tourism news, the United Nations World Tourism Organization Secretary General Zurab Pololi-Kasvili has explained that time has come to restart tourism. At both the local and global level, the crisis we have faced up together has shown the importance of making right decisions at the right time, saying, yes, the time has come to restart tourism. We do so on the back of many weeks of hard work and commitment. This crisis has affected us all, and many at every level of the sector have made sacrifices personally and professionally. But in the spirit of solidarity that defines tourism, which is united under the United Nations World Tourism Organization's leadership to share our expertise and abilities, together we are stronger, and this cooperation will be essential as we move on to the next stage. Our research shows that several countries around the world are starting to ease restrictions on travel. At the same time, governments and private sectors are working together to restore confidence, build and trust, essential foundations for recovery. In the first stage of the crisis, the United Nations World Trade Organization united tourism to assess the likely impact of COVID-19 pandemic and mitigate the damage of the economies and safeguard jobs and businesses. Now, as we change gears together, the United Nations World Tourism Organization is taking the lead once again. AfrEITOP television programs would like to remind our viewers to wash their hands for 20 seconds, use face masks, and practice social distancing in keeping with our social and cultural values for a better future post-COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for watching AfrEITOP updates for this week with me, Hanan Ibrahim. Stay tuned with the rest of our programs and keep safe.
Everyone, hope you're enjoying our show. Now we're going to go to our second part of the program, AfriTour, and we're going to tour Kenya. Enjoy.
Greetings and welcome, dear our viewers. I am Rahel Ifru, presenting you the AfriTour program. This is our weekly program promoting all the African country destinations and heritage sites. Today, we're flying to the beautiful Kenya and see the main tourism attraction destinations and heritage sites. Before that, let's enjoy the next Kenyan music, and we'll be back. Karibu, dear our viewers. Karibu means greetings in Kenya. Our dear viewers, we're back from the beautiful traditional Kenyan song. Now we'll see the general overview of the 7 World Heritage Site destinations in Kenya, recorded by the UNESCO. Kenya is a country having different tourism destinations. Kenya means God's resting place. The country is known for its spectacular beauty, and a visit offers the experience of a lifetime. It is renowned worldwide as a preferred tourism attraction for its amazing sites and unmatched hospitality of its people. In addition to that, Kenya has 7 sites registered by the UNESCO World Heritage, categorized by cultural and natural. And today, by our AfrEITOP AfriTour program, first edition, we will shortly see these sites in order to partially show the vast tourism potential of Kenya. Kenya's cultural sites registered by the UNESCO. Let's see them one by one. The first one is Lamu Old Town. The Lamu Old Town is considered as the best preserved and oldest Swahili settlement in the coastal stripe of East Africa. This town has been continually inhabited for 7 centuries. Even today, this town still has some of Kenya's most conservative societies. Lamu Old Town serves as the cradle of civilization for the Swahili people. This is commemorated through the many cultural festivals and Islamic celebrations in the town. In 2001, it was added to the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Kenya. The next one would be Forest Jesus, Mombasa. This fort is one of the cultural UNESCO World Sites in Kenya. It was inscribed into the list in 2011 as this 16th century fort was designed to guard the old port of Mombasa. This fort is the only one that is maintained by the Portuguese in the Swahili coast. Hence, it's also a symbol of how Western powers successfully established their influence on the trading activity in the Indian Ocean. The architecture of the forest itself was important to the cultural heritage of the site. Aside from showcasing Renaissance architectural site, the labor, materials and masonry technologies are inspired by the local Swahili people. Meanwhile, the fort is considered as one of the best military fortifications during the late Renaissance of era. 3 is the scarred Mijikenda Kaya Forest. The scarred Mijikenda Kaya Forest in Kenya is another entry to the list of UNESCO World Heritage Site in Kenya. It's composed of 11 forest sites that are located along the coast of fortified village by the Mikenda people. These villages are locally known as Ekaya. These villages are formed in the 16th century, but by 1940s, the village had been left in an abandoned state. They are then regarded as scarred sites and are still being maintained by a council of elders. Due to its unique testimony to a rich culture and tradition in Kenya, it earned a spot in the UNESCO list in 2008. Our final cultural site will be Timiling-Onga Cultural Landscape, which is archaeological site. Among the outstanding but least noticed tourism destinations is the Timiling-Onga stone enclosure in Migori, which has been described as an architectural masterpiece. It was promoted as a natural monument in 1982 and added to the UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2018, located northwest of the town of Migori in Lake Victoria region. This dry stone-walled settlement was probably built in the 16th century. The settlement seems to have served as a fort for communities and livestock, but also defined social entities and relationships like to lineage. The site covers the indigenous forest, which is also a home for more than 300 monkeys and lots of bird species with very rich biodiversity. So far, we have seen the cultural sites registered by the UNESCO. And now, let's continue with the natural heritage sites. Kenya's natural site registered by the UNESCO. One by one, the Kenya natural site registered by UNESCO. The first one is Kenya Lake System in the Great Rift Valley. The Kenya Lake System in the Great Rift Valley is the first natural site in the list of UNESCO World Heritage Site in Kenya, listed in 2011. It's a natural landscape consisting of 3 lake basins that are located at the valley floor. This site is noted for its rich population of migratory birds, great white pelicans, and lesser flamingo. The 3 lakes that are encompassed in this lake system are Lake Elementai, Lake Nakuru, and Lake Bogoria. These lakes are hydrogeologically connected to each other through subsurface seepage of water. The alkaline from these lakes supports the algae formation that are served as food for the flamingos. Our second natural site will be Lake Turkana Natural Park. This natural site composes 3 national parks within Kenya's Lake Turkana and inscribed into the list of UNESCO World Heritage Site in Kenya. The coverage of the site was expanded in 2001. This site is considered important as a stopping point for migratory birds, as well as the breeding ground for various species of reptiles, including snakes, hippopotamus, and Nile crocodile. The main components of this park are Sibilio National Park, Lake Turkana, and Central Iceland. In addition to being a breeding ground and stopping points for migratory birds, it is also home to Kopi 4 fossil deposits. Our second natural heritage site will be Mount Kenya National Park, National Forest, which is a national forest. This national park and forest were founded in 1949 and added to the list of UNESCO World Heritage Site in Kenya in 1997. The aim for the establishment of this national park was to protect Mount Kenya along with its wildlife environment. This natural environment is crucial as a natural habitat for the animal species that live in the area. Furthermore, it acts as a water catchment area that provides water supply to all of Kenya. It's also a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. In fact, this site was primarily a forest reserve before it was elevated into the status of a national park. Welcome back, dear viewers. We hope that you have enjoyed and learned the features of the Kenya Heritage Site. We hope that you will plan your next trip to Kenya as soon as we are over with the current COVID-19 pandemic. We would like to appreciate the Kenyan Embassy in Addis Ababa for the cooperation in preparing this program. And this is what we have for today. Next week, we'll fly into South Africa and explore its tourism potential. Until then, Kasalama. Stay safe.
Dear AfrEITOP family, hope you had a really good time today. This was the program that we had ready for you today. We'll be back next week, same time. You don't want to miss it. And don't forget, stay safe.